Welcome to the Friends of Zeus podcast. This is episode, we think, 236.
Yep. Who's counting?
People from the future, when you watch our podcast and start your religion based on it,
Yes.
just know that this could be 235 or 237.
Yeah.
Um,
People will argue about this for
and I
decades in the future.
and
They'll write dissertations
I
on.
know this is a way off the beaten path thing here, but how the hell is our Halloween episode like competing with some of our better listened to
Top flight
episodes?
episodes.
Yeah, because AI,
I
man.
because
It's gotta be a fix. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. It's a great episode, and the
I
costumes were hilarious.
I think it's great that Tom like comes off the bench and
Yeah,
throws a no hitter. He does
yeah.
like a Otani, and
That was
hits like
amazing. Yeah,
four
he's like,
home runs.
Did I
yeah, it was,
send you the guy? Did I send you guys the AI of me with mini me?
Yes.
yes, twice.
Very upsetting.
Sorry. Well, anyway, so tonight is Mike's ship to steer right into a bridge,
Right off the
conveniently in
cliff.
Baltimore.
Yes. We're gonna take this
Um,
ship right off the cliff, man.
yep. So let's get rolling.
Mixing the metaphors up. So so
Bird in
to
the hand is worth, I don't know.
so I love this topic.
I
This
think
is
it's great.
uh this is one I've been thinking about for a while and I didn't really know how to address it. So
I hate it.
figure we just wing it. And that is hate. Um Hate as a concept, as a word, as a feeling. It's a word that, I remember years ago had a certain meaning, and today it has other meanings. It's been very politicized.
It's
Um,
now an adjective.
it's used all the time. Um, and I think it's one of those words that has gone through like semantic change. It's the definition has kind of been broadened and changed
Well,
over the
again, like
years.
I said, it's now an adjective. Hate speech, hate crime.
Hmm.
It used to just be, I guess, what would you call it? Like an adverb, like I hate you. No,
Well, a
that's a
verb or
verb.
noun. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
now, yeah.
I hate you, but now it is literally something that you add to another word. It's a
Like a
suffix to other
prefix.
things.
And
Yeah.
here just for the record, because I looked it up in the dictionary that we have here in the Friends of Zeus podcast library that is very well stocked, and
Right next to the Rogan Studios.
we really need to give our librarian a raise because she's doing a great job. But I took out the Oxford Dictionary, and yeah, verb is feel intense or passionate dislike for either
Mhm.
someone or something, which again, feel intense or passionate dislike.
Yep.
Okay. And then noun is intense or passionate dislike. So is it okay to hate things? That's a rhetorical question, I guess. But that's something that, it seems like no anymore. Like you're not allowed to hate anything, even though it's a completely valid
Well,
emotion and feeling about things. It's kind of frowned upon a
I
lot.
don't know if I agree with that. You can
Yeah,
hate injustice, you can hate murderers, you can hate terrorists.
So maybe it's what you hate.
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
I think
it's
it's very much a perspective thing.
yeah, I think it's okay to hate. I mean, my thinking about this, especially with that definition,
Hmm.
if you hate a thing,
Hmm.
it seems to me that that's a little less frowned upon than hating a person. So if I say I hate spinach, I
Hmm.
have a passionate, intense dislike for spinach. Like I'll just not eat it because it's gross to me. So
Right.
it's like a visceral feeling.
Yeah,
Then
but you're not
maybe
gonna every time you walk by a garden and they've got spinach in there start stomping on it. So is it really hate or is it dislike?
right. No, I hear you. There's a distinction, right? Because it's like how can you hate an inanimate object? Is hate something that's reserved only for people?
And yeah, what takes something from dislike to hate? Like what is it's like a force multiplier, right? It's like a an added kick or something like that. I mean, the synonyms, just to throw this out there, at least according to the Oxford Dictionary, are detest,
Disdain,
abhor,
disgust.
which is a fantastic word,
Yeah,
abhor,
it's a
I
great
love
word.
that word.
abominate, and then another one of my favorite words, loathe.
Yeah,
Loathe
that's
is
a good one.
loathe is a good word.
And see, two of those I think are worse than hate.
Which ones?
Abhor and loathe.
Oh, really? You think loathe is worse?
Loathe is a pretty word for the intensity of hate. Like loathe is just like I think you're less than dirt. If I, the old saying, if your teeth were on fire, I wouldn't piss in your mouth. Like that's loathe.
Wow, I've never heard that. Is that an
That's
old
a great
saying?
one, isn't it? I love that one.
I don't know where that came from. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not
Me, I
familiar
just
with
said
that
it.
one.
no,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I've heard I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Like, I've heard that
But
one,
I
but
haven't heard the
I never heard the pissing in the mouth
yeah,
thing.
I haven't heard that variant, which is
Oh,
fine.
there's
I
websites for it.
but there is current or in modern times, um hate has kind of the term has kind of been broadened to mean disagreement. Or like if you don't fully back somebody else, you hate them. Or if someone thinks has a different opinion than you, that word is used. And
Yeah,
so like many
It's almost like
words.
they're the word was used and people may not have used that word for the disagreement or whatever they have, but because it's become like again, I'll use those terms before hate speech or hate crimes, that now they use that word to describe these situations. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, you see somebody getting punched in the mouth, like, a woman walking across the street, and a guy just punches her in the mouth because he's fucking mental, right?
Or
Um,
stabs her in the throat on a train.
right.
right. I wouldn't have called that a hate crime before, but we didn't use the term hate crimes
Right, because it's
until
crazy.
maybe what, probably like the 80s. It's a relatively new
It's new.
term.
Yeah, I would say
Um,
later than that, but
Yeah,
yes.
it's later than that.
Probably, yeah. But it's disturbing that it is becoming such a part of the societal consciousness that it's used all the time now.
Yeah, see,
And
I don't know, Mike and Zeus here. I don't, in terms of what the modern use of hate or what
Hmm.
we're seeing people
Hmm.
say, is hate, I think it's really kind of pure to the definition of that you read. Like,
Hmm.
if we're talking about politicization, right? Like, let's talk about the hate that people say they have for the current president of the United States.
Hmm.
I think they genuinely hate him.
Hmm.
Like, it's not bullshit. It's not, I mean, that's the only way that you could justify the behavior is that they hate the man. They have an intense dislike for him. I think if they could, if any, you could take any number of these people that you see on the streets at these protests, if they could murder him, they would.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
because
really
they're
feel so.
cowards.
I think that's real hate. And that's why, to me, the distinction is like the feeling you have toward a person versus a thing. Like, if you really have hate in your heart for another human being, that's like hate. I mean, like a super intense dislike. It means that you would probably like wish ill on them and maybe even carry out ill intent toward them. And that's why I can't really relate to it because as an adult, like I was thinking about this, Mike. Like, who do I hate somebody? Do I hate
Yeah.
somebody? Like the way these people I know hate Trump, they fucking hate him.
Yes.
And I was like, in my entire adult life, I've known some a holes that have come and gone, but it just means like, oh, I don't like that guy. That guy's an asshole,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to be
or
around them, but
you know what I mean? Like, I don't
yeah.
want to spend time with that person. They're annoying or they're obnoxious or whatever. But I don't want to like learn the art of black magic and cast a spell against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just, I don't care. I don't want to punch them. Like, I don't care that much. And I was thinking, have I ever hated somebody? And I think the last time I even felt something that probably wasn't even really hate. Remember when you were a little kid, it
Yep.
was you were more like, because you're immature, right? So you don't really even know it, but you might have a teacher that's a tough grader, or she's fucking disciplinarian, or she, oh, I hate Mrs. Smith. Oh, she's the worst. I hate her. I wish I want to shave her head while she's asleep, or I wish she'd get in a car accident or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're a little kid, so you have these fantasies. I don't even know if that's real hate, but in your mind as a child, because of your ill feeling toward them, wishing bad things upon them, that's hate, right?
It seems
And,
so.
and
It has the feeling. Yeah,
it
at the
has the
time.
feeling, right? Because think about how intense love is. Okay, to me, there's
Sure,
sort of.
that's
I
sort of
know
love.
that they say the opposite of love is apathy. Like, I've heard that before.
Hmm.
But I always
Hmm.
kind of connect the intensity of real love. I think hate requires that, like, as an anti-love in a way. Like, you would actually, instead of wanting to protect
Yeah.
someone and make them feel good,
You want to,
you would want to do bad things to the person. And so I don't think I've, as an adult, I don't think I've hated anybody really. Like, I really don't.
that was one of my other questions, which we can get to. We don't have to do it right now. Is what's your personal relationship, with hate? I mean, I think when I look at the definition and I look how it's being used now, the way it's being used now, there has been a little bit, in my opinion, a mission creep of irrationality that's kind of gotten folded into the dough
I
of
was gonna
Yeah.
hate.
say that
Like there's one,
the bar has been lowered for hate.
yeah, it's
Like,
it's it's more than just a dislike, intense dislike, passionate dislike. It's like in like there's some people now it's on the level of irrational dislike. And I don't know if that's still is that hate or is that a
I
form of
mean, again,
psychosis?
I
Like
think that's a
what
Yeah,
perspective thing.
like madness, right?
like is that madness? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like 28 days later, what we were talking about earlier, like the rage disease.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like that is a real thing. For me, and I was telling Mike about it earlier, and I told him that I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get what she was trying to teach me. She was trying to teach it to like a 12-year-old boy. But my grandmother, one time, I was like, I hate my sister. And she's like, hate means that you don't care if somebody lives or dies. And that has a lot of perspective. But in not caring if somebody lives or dies, you're kind of caring if somebody lives or dies. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's still
So
affecting you and you're still, yeah, their living is affecting you.
I have people that if they died, I'd be, fine. But then it's like two or three, and I'm gonna be 55 in a month. So that's a pretty good ratio.
Would you be
Um,
happy?
I wouldn't be, no, see, that's the thing, because I think this is part of our generation that's not following through with the next generation is when if I envision that person dying, then I'm envisioning their family, their children, their grandchildren, people whom I've never met who could be kind or could be just as shitty as that person. And then I dial it back and I'm like, you know what? For me, actually, when I hate somebody, this is my degree of hate. I usually hope that they get exactly what they deserve in life. In other words, if I'm wrong and they're actually kind of cool or whatever, then good, they get that. But if they're pieces of shit, I hope that they get shitty experiences.
And
I don't
sometimes it could,
wish anybody dead.
well, sometimes it could be in context, right? So you're driving along, someone pulls up to your right and you're trying to make a right turn and they're right there. And so you just turn into them and then they try to tell you that it was your fault, Zeus. Like something like
Yeah.
that. So you may like hate, like you say, like, oh man, I hate this person, but they may be like the nicest person in the world, have a loving family, and they just are having a bad day driving right then. But you like hate them. Like it's a very strong emotion that can drive people to do things
I
that aren't
I think
things they would typically
possibly
do
also
necessarily.
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
possibly also it's your capacity for hate. And that is probably equal with your capacity for love. Like the more you can love, the more you can hate. Um, for instance, and I can actually talk about it now. You guys know that I was in a pretty bad car accident. You've seen the videos.
The
Not my
first one.
fault. Yeah. Um, and it was a bad accident. Um, so the kid, and eventually we'll have a whole episode on this. I'll show the videos and everything. I just want to get past the legal stuff that I got to do. But he got off scot-free. Scot-free. I still don't hate him. I'm concerned that he is going to be out in the public. I don't think he's allowed to drive. But you guys saw the video, man. I was
Well, I look at it
there,
more as an example of don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So I
Yeah.
hate the game. I mean, I don't even know that guy,
but I
but
don't want him to die. I don't
I'm
wish
not
ill
saying
upon
that.
his family.
But it's ridiculous that there were no consequences for
Yeah,
him.
he hates the district attorney's office in
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
case.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
unbelievable.
yeah.
I mean,
You listeners of the show, the 50 or whatever of you, when you see it, you'll be like, how does he not hate that guy? And my son was in the back of the car.
Oh, that
Like,
would have
I
been bad.
have all the reason in the world to hate, and maybe I just don't have the capacity for hate that others do. My thinking is, how did he get to that place where he did that? And he had had a DUI like a month before that in another state. Like, those
Yeah,
are
I don't know how they
the
null process that. That's unbelievable to me.
I don't know. I don't
well,
know.
like
But
what?
but but so it really is, I think your capacity is a big part of this. Um and I think truly good people don't have that equilibrium of your capacity for hate is equal to your capacity for love. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not claiming to be one of those, but I do feel that I am that way. I have far more capacity to love and forgive and forget than I do to hate, because hate, just for me, when I go down that road, it starts to get dark, and it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, it actually affects you negatively to like to have all those negative emotions toward another human being, right? I mean, because
Yeah,
you're dwelling on the negative, and I think that could even affect you physically. It can affect you
Oh,
mentally. So I
absolutely.
think people that mostly have their shit together and are sort of at peace with themselves, they have less of a capacity to like to me, and I would have the like they say, the opposite of love. If somebody's an a-hole, I just have complete apathy. I don't really care what happens to you. I just don't want to deal with you.
hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Walk
hate
away in
you.
disgust.
But
I
Yeah.
just get
I think that's true. I mean, it is definitely one of those things that I think many times, maybe my guess would be most times, that it has more the if someone feels hate towards someone else, that it actually affects the person who's feeling the hate worse than
Exactly.
it affects the person that's being hated. Because the person that's
yeah.
being
Again,
hated is like,
Don't even
whatever,
yeah, they don't
you
even
know,
know.
they may
another
not even
great another
know.
great quote is, the best revenge is to live well.
That's right.
And in often those people that we, for lack of a better term, hate, they just whistle and walk down the street and live their lives and have all things that they want. And meanwhile, we're stewing. We're just stewing.
Yeah, it's
And
not healthy.
yeah, it's like,
Well,
I think you said it, Jack, it it can do real damage to you. Like in my situation that I was just talking about, I was hateful at first because my son was in the back of the car and my son could have died. I got out of the car and I was like, motherfucker, don't get out of your car because I will put you on the ground. You know what I mean? In the moment, maybe there, you know what? Hate could also be fleeting.
yeah,
I think if you hold hate, that's a bad place.
Oh
In a
yeah.
moment, that's a different thing. And that's probably, people die and all that stuff.
Crime of passion. That happens
I
at that
think,
moment.
I think hate, and I think this is why my group of friends, these guys, you guys, um, hate is fucking easy. I would be so much better off if I just hated easier or disliked easier. But I try and find in people something I can latch onto that I can justify being, at bare minimum, cordial with them.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, hate is kind of dehumanizing in a way. I mean, if you hate someone, you're kind of denying their humanity in a way. Which got had me thinking too on this topic is because a lot of times these days people use the term and they're just trying to describe a feeling towards a group. And to me, that's like a whole different thing. Like I don't even, it almost should have its own word because I don't know that that you can have an intense and passionate dislike for a class of people. Like I can
That's
see
just
how you could have
stupid.
that towards a person, but I don't know how you could have that towards just random group
I think
I
I don't know, Mike.
subgenre.
I think
Maybe you
history
can.
I think history tells us otherwise.
Well, I'm not, I know people do. I'm saying personally myself, like it
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
make sense to
No,
me.
right.
Like
Okay. I got you.
it
I think
doesn't,
hate
I
is
don't
something
get
you
it. I
can't
feel like
paint
it
with
should be a
broad
different
strokes.
word. What?
I think hate is something you cannot paint with broad strokes with. For instance, Nazis are bad. Most of them were bad people. But to say that you hate all of them, there was probably a few that were helping people escape and doing good. It's a lazy thing to do with a large group of people. It 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 minimizes your intelligence.
Well, there was good people on both sides.
I was going
You
to say it,
remember?
Mike. I was going to say it. I was like, no,
But
Zeus, don't go there.
but you feel what I'm saying, right?
Well,
Like
a
I'm not
lot
no
of
oh
them,
by all means I'm not saying that Nazis were good. What I'm saying is that there was one or two that were like
there may have been some
that
good.
were doing kindnesses at the risk of their own lives. But the same thing could be said for Afghanis when we were over there just pummeling shit.
Well,
It can
people
be
don't
said
think
across the board.
people don't think that they're doing evil, right? Even when they are. So there's a lot of people who are involved with the Third Reich, and they're just like, I'm just doing my thing, and they were turning a blind eye, and I'm not defending that. That's reprehensible. But history is, there's millions of people through history that have, you know, not looked too much into something and then became part of it and are identified as that, even though they
Well,
may not necessarily
and if
subscribe
you
to
get
it.
in, if you delve into it a little further, you'll hate a group, and although they did awful things, and I won't name any particular group, um,
The Democrats,
there was like there was what's that?
the Democrats. Sorry, I'm just
See,
No,
kidding.
no, they
I don't
hate
hate
us
all
though, Mike.
them.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No, but like you have to consider that there's also this like group think, like I have been indoctrinated into this group.
Yeah,
I
hive
in
mind.
my heart, I don't feel what they feel, but I don't want to be kicked out of the group because they all like me.
Like peer
So
pressure.
I'll do this. Yeah, peer pressure is probably a light term for it. I feel like it's more of a group think, a hive mind thing. Like it's pretty deeply ingrained. Like they say that like in Germany next to the concentration camps that the people would they had rhymes and songs about not going to Dachau or Auschwitz or anything like songs that they did, but many of them claimed that they never knew anything was going down there. And my thinking is that they did, but like this hive mind thing, like they just
Didn't look.
pretended, just they couldn't deal with it and they couldn't do anything about it, so they just dispersed it. They pushed it off,
Well,
and that's where I say the evil is hard to kind of.
but that's more than hate. I mean, I would say, uh, people that participated in the Holocaust are not, I don't
Well,
think, I
no,
think they're
they're bad.
guilty of more than hate. You know what I mean? Hate is a small tale for that
I'm
kite,
saying
I
no, I'm
think.
saying the people that lived in the towns around them,
Yeah,
like
but also,
they
Mike,
could just
there's got to be hate.
dissociate from it,
There's got to be hate involved as a base, okay? And
To look the other way.
that's what's so scary
like a virus.
about what we've seen in history when it comes to the dehumanizing of another group. Like that's what we're
And that's
seeing.
a big part of it.
We're
We're
seeing,
seeing it now.
yeah.
We're seeing it now, and that's why it's okay to throw bricks at ICE agents and to shoot people like Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's a dehuman. We're all, if you're
The
conservative, you're
word
a
you used of
Republican, you're a
dehumanizing is
Nazi.
huge.
They're literally using like the worst evil group that most of them, because most of them don't know much about history anyway. So
No,
that's just the super bad group, right? So let's call everybody that. And
it's
it's easy
cartoonish.
if you rile up a mob, a hive, if you rile up a mob is a very dangerous thing, and if you fill all their heads with hate and to the point where they feel it themselves, horrible shit happens. I mean, and that's so like there were people in Germany who blamed everything on the Jews, so they
Yeah.
hated the Jews. Like they had a visceral intense dislike for those people because they blamed all the ills of Germany on them to
And
some
that
degree.
and their opinions were supported, by the government,
And
by the
by the
press, by
media.
their
Actually,
Yeah.
neighbors.
I'm gonna go the flip of that and say that they were inspired by the government. That the government gave them the
Well,
invisible
sure.
hand.
Okay.
I don't think that there was a natural distaste for Jews in Germany. I think that that was
Well, they're
inspired
all
by a
Well,
leader that was
well,
for
but he
that's what's
picked.
happening now.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he picked. There definitely. I mean, there were a lot of people that were anti-Semitic long before Hitler came along.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
he didn't
not to
create
the
it.
degree,
Kind
not
of.
to that degree though.
Well, nothing. Yeah, not to that
No, but they
degree.
were an easy scapegoat. They were
That's
because
why he
people.
picked them. Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
like
Right.
he didn't go out
but
and
here's
pick
the
like
thing.
Hollywood starlets to hate, right? He picked
Right.
people that were already kind of considered less than in
Well,
society.
here's the thing. At that point in Germany,
They were, and
people were
they,
fighting to get a stick of butter. So you have somebody come along and say the reason you can't get that stick of
Of
butter
course, yeah.
easily is because of these people, and then path of least resistance.
that's
You know
what's
what I mean?
happening now.
They were money lenders. That was probably their biggest downfall is that they were money lenders and nobody likes to owe anybody. Plain and simple. That's my spin on it. But I mean, look at the world now. I mean,
Yeah, but it's easy. Like it, and they also were pinned because they were moderately successful, like you said, compared to people that couldn't get butter without waiting in line or whatever. I mean, if that's your point, that's being done now. There's class warfare being waged now. There's hate being drummed up now. I
Hmm.
mean,
it's
in
just
this
who's going to win
country.
the Nazi accusation battle? Who's going to be the one that gets to say the other ones are Nazi and people start believing it?
Well, it's clear what's going on now.
Yeah, they're already using the language. Yeah, they're
Yeah, and the
already
media.
yeah, that cat's out of the bag. I mean,
Yeah,
and
crazy.
it's a double-edged sword of horribleness because one, just rhetorically, it's just horrible, and two, it waters down the severity of the term. It's like
Exactly.
if
That's
you're
what I
gonna
was saying.
call
The bar
someone,
is lowered for what you hate.
well, if you
Oh,
call
I hate
someone,
vegetarians.
if
Somebody's
you,
going to say that, and it's going to be for real. Like, I hate vegetarians because they don't like food that has eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like anything is possible these days, and most of it negative.
yeah,
That's what I hate. I hate
well,
lack of discourse.
here's a question, and have you
Don't
and Jack
question.
kind of touched what?
Don't question me.
Oh, Jack touched on this earlier, and it
Carl.
was, I mean, Carl, hi Carl, touched on this earlier, and it's kind of been my experience too, is it's one of those things, it's like a word like all these people that take offense at things. I'm like, I couldn't tell you last time I was offended by something, and I don't know very, very few times do have I felt hate towards someone. I mean, or anything. I just people use the term so easily and they say how much they hate, and I'm like, I don't know how they get there. Like I don't know. How about you, Zeus? I mean, Hot Carl and I are both on the same page as far as like not feeling that way or knowing, through our lives, not having a lot of hate towards
I
anybody.
don't, there's times where I feel like I'm full of hate. That's
Hmm.
more rage. Um, but even rage doesn't make me hate. I don't have that capacity. There's very few people. Honestly, I don't feel that using hate for a group is appropriate.
Not for a group. Yeah.
No, he
Disdain.
means in your personal life. Like,
Well, hold on. But I want to make my point here. Now, hate of individuals is a far more plausible thing. Like 9/11 terrorists, hate every one of them. Hope they burn forever, whatever. Um, but then again, like in my head, I'm like, but what if one of them was mentally ill and they made them do it? Like then I go into I go down that rabbit hole in my own head. Like I don't think that many people are truly worthy of hate. Like pedophiles, for instance. I don't. I watch videos where they're getting their asses beat. I think it's great, but hurt
where are you
people hurt
seeing these
people.
videos?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you
Is that a
talking about?
Oh,
subgenre? Is that on
my
YouTube?
algorithm is dark, um, and maybe
Pedophiles
that's why.
getting
Maybe my capacity for what is
Is that like Bum Hunter?
something like that. But no, but my point is some of those people are so fucking broken, and this is not to excuse what they've done. I think personally, put a bullet in the back of their heads, fine. But it happened to them in a lot of cases, and they're just paying it forward in a dark way. So even them, there might be one out there that truly regrets what they did, wants to do better, wants to teach others what they can do to avoid these urges. I still wouldn't mind even those ones being put down, but the point is that there is an element in their mindset that you may not choose to, but you can find a way to maybe not forgive, but but give them a second shot. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I'm
No, I
not
don't
saying
want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that
no, no,
either.
no, not a second shot at doing what they did. I'm
Yeah.
saying that maybe there is
But
redemption.
but doesn't that go out the window if it's someone that you know? Doesn't that
Sure,
just fly right out? Like you don't
intimacy
care.
is definitely a part of that. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying I would hold if I was gonna have to hate, I would hold it very, very closely, very close to my heart. It would be directed at specific. If it was going to be a group, it'd be like a group of 10, or what I was saying earlier, a group of 19. You know what I mean? The terrorists, 9/11.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so it would not be, I would never be broad. I would never say, I hate Indians, or I hate Russians, or I hate Kazakistanians, whatever. I would never hate a
A group.
group. Even though
It just seems
I'm
irrational.
my
Like,
my my
how can you?
feeling for the Democratic Party has changed. I certainly don't hate everybody in that party. I hate the people that are causing the disdain. Now, it does bother me that they use the word hate a lot, but so does the right. The right does too. Both sides do. But we talk politics enough. We don't have to go too far into that. But
But
anyway,
has there been um has there been situations where you guys like did feel that kind of, I mean, in your life, and like did it resolve? Did it go away? Do you still feel that way?
I mean, to that intensity, no.
Or the
I mean, if we're
intensity can
talking
change. Yeah.
our own personal spin on hate,
Hmm.
my spin on hate is I wish they were dead, and I have nobody, nor have I. Maybe in a moment I did, but clearly it resolved. But I don't think that I like I said, and I'm not trying to sound like angelic or here, but I don't think I have the capacity for that level of hate. Maybe if somebody did something to my kids or my family, then I could. Then that might open up the floodgates.
Yeah. I mean, I think
But then again, is that rage or is that hate?
right. I mean, again, I think the term it's kind of become almost a
Watered down.
catch-all. Yeah, it's watered down.
And like I said, I think that the bar has been lowered for what people can say with hate. I think that we are far more intelligent individuals because we are actually putting a capacity to this word that is, I think, if I said I hated somebody, it would mean a hell of a lot more to you than if somebody at a Charlie Kirk uh, thing said I hate you. They're just throwing out the word that gets people riled up. I'm actually saying I will put you down if I get the chance.
Even though you
You know
don't
what I
feel that
mean?
way about anyone,
I don't feel that way about anybody.
but it would have to get to that.
Yeah, it would have to be a specific situation.
Yeah, see,
Hate,
I don't know that it would require me to be the actor,
I'll be right back, guys.
but I think if I hated somebody, it would mean that I want bad things to happen to them. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I don't want them to enjoy their lives. You know what I mean? Like I hate them. Like so I want them to have a shitty experience with
Is it
whatever it is they're doing. And that's why I don't feel that way toward anybody, really. I mean,
right?
I'd rather just not deal with somebody if I think they're an a-hole or whatever. Like, I mean, like Zeus said, it would have to be somebody personally fucking did something to me that I was so unforgivable that it made me hate them. You know what I mean? Like
Or
as a reaction.
or if the thing that gets me going is if I get a sense that someone's doing something on purpose, or they're
Yeah.
doing it to fuck with me, or they're doing it with the express intent of trying to hurt me, which luckily isn't very common. But
Right.
that's where like that's the time where I would feel that. But I feel, it's almost this sounds crazy, but it's almost like I think it's okay to hate. I
That sounds crazy.
it's not good for yourself, right? So you shouldn't. Um, but it's one of those things that like it's an emotion. It's a human emotion like everything else. And to say like it's you cannot do that. I mean, part of it is, like Zeus was saying, like if you're a little kid, and you may feel that it's working through that. It's getting through it,
But
that
that's
helps
the
you
thing.
become an adult. Like, because you may hate Jimmy, because Jimmy took all your Star Wars figures and he took a magnifying glass and he burned Yoda or whatever and melted Yoda on the sidewalk and you hate him
Not good,
for
that
it.
is.
But eventually, you know, uh, you get over it.
Well, yeah, right. But that's why I was equating it to something that you feel more commonly in childhood.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, you said that. Yeah.
I think the nature of maturity, like you think about like the monks, right? The idea is to achieve total enlightenment is to achieve peace of mind and peace of body.
You can't have hate there.
And in order to get there, you can't feel hate toward anybody. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't serve you. Like
Yeah.
it can only injure you to have those feelings. So I know it's okay to hate. Like it's normal, it's human, it's an emotion, like you
But
said, I think it's
it should
something
be
that we're
fleeting.
ideally supposed to grow out of.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It should be fleeting. Hate is an emotion that it is okay to have. This is my opinion. Other people can feel differently, fine. My opinion is hate should be a fleeting thing. Much like I said, like if that guy had gotten out of the car when he hit us. But again, that's rage and hate, I'm sure, they walk down the aisle together, but they're not the same thing.
Right.
Rage is
Rage is
more,
uncontrollable. Hate is controllable.
or not necessarily, it's more, yeah, it's more like in the moment. I'm not saying irrational, but yeah, it's more sudden. Hate is more like considered, I
I
think.
hate, more than people, and I know that we said that it's kind of like an individual thing. I don't hate people so much as I hate thought processes of people. Um,
Thought processes that people have.
yeah, yeah, like again, let's go with another group, white supremacists. Like, I don't like what they think. I think it's abhorrent, to use your synonym. Um, so I
They're
hate that
morons.
thought. I
Yeah.
hate the thought. The individual is a subject that is a victim of whatever upbringing, indoctrination, thought processes. I'm not saying that these people are redeemable, but what I'm saying is that it's kind of like guns don't kill people, bullets kill people. People don't hate, thoughts hate. Am I getting too?
What do you mean? Or people hate thoughts?
No,
No,
he
I'm saying
hates.
that hate isn't like something that's in our DNA. It's in how we were raised, our
Well,
experiences, all these other things. It's a collection of experiences that leads you to feel one way or
yeah, I
another
mean,
about it.
hating someone for immutable traits is in my opinion, by definition, irrational
Oh,
and
it's completely
moronic.
irrational.
Like to say that you hate someone that you don't even know is
It's ridiculous.
foolish. Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. But many people do, or they'll say that. Um, but it also it tends to be a word that shuts people down too. I mean, people use it kind of as a whip word, I mean, if they disagree with you, it's like, oh, you're a hater, to try and like silence you.
But that's also like a dumbing down of the word.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. It really, I think it's dangerous how easily the word is used now for things that you're saying you hate somebody that has kids, they own a home, they're just trying to get through life, Republican, Democrat, whatever. If we're going to be political with it, to say that you hate somebody that is going through many, maybe not all, but many of the same experiences that you are. My girl doesn't love me, I can't afford that car. To hate people that are just the same as you, but just a little tweaked in one way or another, it's just idiotic.
I, people throw around the term Nazi to the point that it doesn't even, younger people have no
It's
idea
watered
what
down.
the word even means. And I always think back because it always kind of caught me as funny. And I've thought about it over the years and my thinking
Oh,
has
please,
changed a
Michael,
little
tell us
bit
what's
on it.
funny about Nazis.
No, yeah. Well, this is kind of, my grandfather used to hate. He couldn't stand Hogan's Heroes. Like when I was a kid,
I love
and
that show.
and we were at their house, at my grandparents' house, and if I like turned it on or we went by it, I'd want to watch it. He wouldn't let us watch it. He hated it. He didn't like it. And his reasoning is that it portrayed the Germans as
Likeable.
funny and likable and lighthearted, because he was like, they're evil bastards, they're not clowns, and so I'm trying to think of the right word for it. He just didn't appreciate that the way they were being portrayed,
Right.
because he had a
Likeable.
hate for them. He had an intense dislike. So he
I
didn't
don't think
like
I've seen that on reruns in probably 20 years. It definitely
I
got
haven't yeah,
canceled.
I don't think I don't know that it's that's a good point, Zeus. That's a good question because I did up until maybe 10 years ago. But yeah, I don't see it like on Me TV with MASH and The
Yeah.
Rifleman and Adam
Mass.
12.
That was a
Like, yeah,
great show.
they don't have it on there. I wonder if that's part of the reason. I don't
It's
know.
Yeah.
got to be. I mean, there was some dark shit. I mean, I would if they had if I could download it or watch it on something, I would actually go back and watch that. I don't remember enough of it. I might go get through like two episodes and go, "Oh shit," you know?
Well, they had
Yeah.
But
like that bunk that raised up and then they had like
yeah.
the
Hmm.
tunnels underneath.
And didn't they have
Yeah.
a phone that was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Dawson was in
Richard
that.
Dawson.
And
Yeah.
it was like, who was it? Wasn't it Sergeant Schultz and Colonel Klink?
Yep.
I
Yep.
see nothing. I
All right.
see
I know
nothing.
nothing. I see nothing.
And Colonel Clink, yeah, was
Yeah.
always messing up. Yeah, they definitely it is you gotta hand it to whoever pitched that show though. Like, hey, I got this idea. This is only when that show come out? Less than
Like
30 years
70s.
after the war, right? 30 years?
Wasn't it based on Stalag 17, the movie?
Yes.
It
And
was.
that's
Oh,
a
okay.
very dark movie.
Not a comedy. I've never
Mm-mm.
seen it. But just to
But
say, hey,
very similar to Hogan's Heroes, yeah.
we're gonna have this, comedy about these prisoners of war in a concentration camp being held by Nazis. It's a hoot. Like who came
Yeah.
up?
Okay, not to correct you, but I'm going to correct you. I
Yeah.
don't think it was a concentration camp. I think it was a POW camp.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Interesting little fact about that is the French guy, LeBeau,
Hmm.
the actual actor was Jewish.
Oh, the little guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there
I
were
mean,
Jews in France.
yeah, no, but what I'm saying, the actual
Oh,
actor
oh.
Jewish. I don't know how much that applies to it, but I'm sure that he got some shade for being on that show.
Yeah. It's a weird show. But, part of this I came up with what made me think of this topic was I had someone, I won't get into it, but someone that I intensely disliked, um, definitely bordering on hate, who I did not have any contact with for a very long time on purpose. And I just found out that they passed away back in May, and I've been like feeling a little weird about it. Like I'm not like I feel like I should be like, oh well, it's at peace. What let
May I
bygones be
ask?
bygones. And I'm still not quite there yet. Like they died and I'm still like they're an asshole. Like I still can't get
See,
over
that's
it.
indifference. That's indifference. That's okay. Hate is like you hope they suffered. Like hate should be, that's the problem with the
It's a
watering
little bit
down
of
of the
that.
word.
Yeah.
Hate should be like
There's a little
visceral. Hate
yeah.
should be like you want to have part in their dying. You know what I mean?
But is it
So,
Yeah.
that's what
may,
but that's
may I
why I
ask, Mike,
yeah.
what was it that, without giving the person away, can you tell us what they
They were just
did
really
to,
horrible to someone that I loved. Yeah.
well,
It
how
was
so though? I mean, give us a little insight, Mike.
like abusive parent,
Yeah.
Like
you know?
physically, sexually?
Oh, abusive. It's good
Yeah,
enough.
abusive
You
is good
hated
enough.
him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, it made me think about it because I'm just like, you would think that those feelings would go away and they don't necessarily do. And then that's where I was just like, it's really in the person having the feeling. I'm the one carrying it around, right? Like I need to deal with that because they're not even here anymore. And I'm still
So
feeling that way,
here's an
you know?
interesting one of the people that is pretty close to my hate category is the same person that referred to Desiree as Ghislaine on our comments. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
Vaguely,
do.
yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah, I know exactly who it is.
Okay.
They're also a person that said that I was anti-Islamic, and then the people that they were defending said he's never been anti. I got a petition to support me, like a ton of things, and the Islamic person I was talking to was like, no, he's not. He was trying to learn. But see, even this person, like when we started having problems, I was like, well, why don't you come out to my garden? I'll give you some herbs and vegetables, and I was doing everything I could to make things nice. Um, but again, I'm not like, this is where I'm saying I don't have the capacity for it because I do intensely dislike that person. But I would never wish bad things on them. Now, I could go the flip side, and that's because they have a granddaughter and they have kids and all these things and the effect on their lives. It's not this person. If it was this person and they were alone, I don't even then I don't think I would because it's just um Are you guys familiar with the invisible hand theory?
Hmm.
Okay, so when somebody dies, it's not that they stop doing what they were intending, it's that they lose their potential. So the lowest scumbag, they actually have more potential. You know what I mean? They have a ton of potential. They can be so much better. They still might be a piece of shit at the end of that journey, but the point is that although I don't like this person, people are around them and they choose to be around them, and that's good. Now, I could go the flip side and say they're toxic and they're probably not good for the people around them. But I'm not a fly on the wall. I don't know what it's like. Um, Now again, the fact that they picked on Des out of nowhere doesn't even look like Ghislaine. Just that was just a poke at me. For what it's worth, it wasn't on the show. They probably hate me. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm better than that. Maybe it's again, or maybe I'm worse. Maybe I should be hating. That's my concern. Is maybe I'm not hating enough.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
don't think
know,
so. I mean, it's not a, I mean, it's not a positive thing, you know, in your life. It's
it's a cancer on your soul. You know,
exactly.
I think people that go through their lives and don't have any hate, I think they're much better people than
I
those that
think
do.
also if you feed into it and you really feel it and allow it to get in you, you have a greater capacity to do evil.
Yeah.
Like I think it leads to bad things.
And it is kind of a negative spirit in that way, not to be all religious about it, but it does kind of have a life of it can, the
And
feeling can have a life of its own.
It
you
lends
know,
itself to that,
Yeah.
you know?
maybe I have to rethink what I was saying earlier in that your capacity to hate directly affects your capacity to love. So we'll do it on like a percentage thing. Like if you got 80% of love in your heart and 20% of hate, you're doing okay. But if you have like 60% of hate in your heart
Right.
and 40% of love, you're just not as good of a person. And that could be an effect of all the things that happen in your life. That's
Hmm.
fine.
Hmm.
But
And that,
I always
and that's why
try,
you probably, just to touch on what you said earlier, Zeus, people that are like that on that end of the spectrum probably to a great degree are toxic to the people around them.
Yeah.
mhm.
They
Yeah.
probably are. You know, if you think about somebody from your own life, from your own past, who maybe now you can look back and say that was a hateful person. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like I could tell from the things that person said and the things that they did and the way they lived their lives, and maybe they bitched about this group or that person or whatever. Like you just tell there was animus in that person.
They're just
All the
miserable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a miserable person. Their life wasn't great, but it probably didn't make the lives of those around them very great either because you're stuck with this miserable effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like imagine if one of your parents is a hateful person, you know what I mean? Or like your brother or whatever.
Like
It's
the
just gotta
third, it's
it's a
the turd in the
drag.
pool. Yeah, it's the
It's a
turd in the
drag.
pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a hundred
Yeah,
percent. And
I'm
you tend to, I mean, not to speak for you guys, but I tend to avoid those people if I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. And that's what's scary about like the hate, like what we were talking about earlier, like the hate, the mass produced media driven hate that's going on right now. I just like watching like these man on like thank God for X because you have these journalists like these independent journalists with their cell phones and they're interviewing these people and they're
Yeah,
talking to them and these are people that you wouldn't want to spend 5 minutes around. I mean, they're just miserable people. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like, I mean, geez, Christ. I mean, talk about like an army of dumb.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just a bunch of, you could tell they're unhappy. They're never satisfied. Maybe they're lonely. They can't get laid, whatever it is.
And they just go on the attack
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. It's just terrible. It's terrible.
And it's
yeah,
almost
and
it
and that's a really good point. Is like again, I think the theme of this show is going to be that the watering down of the emotion or the thought process of hate is having a negative effect on society.
It's the drumming up of it, really.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
like you see these people and say what you will, you don't have to like Charlie Kirk, but he always gave people an opportunity to talk. He had snark, but I never saw anything that even resembled hate in anything he said. And
Dude,
that
most of these people that celebrated his death probably never heard of him before it happened. And then people told them, oh, he
and
said
didn't
this
do didn't
and
do
he
their
said
research.
that. And this is what he believed. And
right.
and like, oh, I hate him. Let me celebrate. I'll pretend I shoot myself in the neck and go, bah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't friggin' know. They never watched Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah,
just they were drummed up. Their hatred has been drummed up.
they're not coming from a point of intelligence and being informed.
Or
Nope.
They're
doing any research, yeah.
No, it's hive mind.
I talked to somebody right after that happened, and I'm like, "What do you think about this?" And they're like, "Oh, we better not go down that path." I'm like, "What? You're thinking this is a political thing? Because it's not. Yeah, he did do stuff for Trump, but he was a decent person
Yeah,
at
but
bare
it was
minimum.
political. I mean,
Yeah, but to say that his death was
no, I'm saying that the person didn't want to talk about it because maybe I don't know where this conversation happened, but like let's say it was at work. The
of
person
course.
was probably like, "Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into the political discussion of Charlie Kirk right
yeah,
here, right now."
it's kind of
Oh,
fraught.
yeah,
But I
or
would
also, or maybe the person was a conservative and they were afraid to broach the
no, they
subject.
weren't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they no.
Because I know as for myself, I try to avoid conversations with people because I know within 2 minutes, okay, I know this is just going to ostracize me,
Hmm.
and we've talked about that. It sucks having to hold back. It
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
But, when you're working in an office full of people that, you know, would make Obama king if they could,
Hmm.
it's like, what am I doing? Like, am I really going to, do I want to defend everything that I
Right.
believe at work
Who wants to have an argument with irrational, uninformed people
that you have to work with every
that
day?
you have to work with every day? I mean
Yeah.
Well,
that
No.
there's no
I
you
think
don't
you
win.
guys,
There's no
I
winning
think you
that.
guys know
No.
that I don't hold back on a lot. Like I say, was on my mind. So it is torturous for me to hear people say stuff that is not factual. In one case was I've talked about it before, but I was talking to a guy and they brought up I forget what his name, Jacob something or other, guy that got shot by the police and he had a knife. And
Jacob
they're
Blake.
like, Jacob Blake, yeah. And they're like, he got killed. I'm like, no, he didn't. See, and I was like, see, this is how ill-informed people are. That guy lived. He is, I don't know if he's walking, whatever, but
Also, I
he lived.
guarantee those people didn't know the facts of that case.
Yeah,
Hmm.
of course not.
If you're even defending him and suggesting that he was wrongfully shot, you know nothing about that case.
I,
Zero. I'm sorry. That's like the woman who was the woman that got shot in her apartment, and then I think the family just won a lawsuit. They bandied her
Bailey or
name.
something like, yeah.
What was her name? It was around the same time.
Penny Brawley? No.
Not
Brawley?
was it
Her
Tawana?
boyfriend was a drug dealer. She got shot in the crossfire.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, she was like the hero du jour for a while, and that was like a case where her boyfriend was a legal firearm owner who thought that the people breaking down the door was the drug dealer and it was the cops. He started shooting at the cops. They started shooting back. She was in the crossfire. Like that's what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not a friggin' martyr. It's an unfortunate it wasn't like they were out to murder her. Like the cops were not trying to do that. Like, you know what I mean? They were being shot at. They fired back, and unfortunately, she got shot. That's the whole
Brianna
case.
Brianna Taylor.
Breonna
Yes.
Taylor. Yes.
Yeah.
Was she a victim? Yes.
She
It's
Was she a
totally was.
martyr?
She shouldn't have been killed. I mean, it's a terrible thing that happened,
it's
and
totally
the
horrible.
boyfriend legally owned the gun, was firing in what he thought was justified self-defense. He thought the drug dealer was busting in and
But
shooting the
but the
place.
way it was sold is she
It
was
was so.
shot because she's black.
Yeah, that's
That
correct.
was it. That's all they wanted. That's
Well,
all.
No, Mike, Jacob Blake too.
And yeah, even though
Same
he
And
was
thing.
reaching, yeah,
the one that I always, if you were
But again,
gonna,
that whole story. Speaking of hate, that drum we saw the hate on display all through 2020. You know what I mean? Like that was a lot of hate. There was a lot of blame being passed around. You know what I
well,
mean?
also, it's almost like in our society, if you hate something, it kind of gives you carte blanche. It's almost become a justification. It's
Oh
almost
yeah,
become a
it's got a
shield.
very
Like
virtue
you
signaling
you
vibe
can
to it.
do horrible stuff because you say that that person hates you, or you hate, you know what I mean? They're a hater, or that you
yeah.
hate, and of course you would do that. Who wouldn't do that? Because I hate this person.
Right.
Because
It makes it self-defense or
look what their
justice.
ancestors did to my ancestors, or what have you. Yeah, it is. It's almost become a shield, really.
Mhm.
You have to do whatever you want.
Yeah, to
It's
Yeah,
literally
justify
it's a
it.
water it
get out of it's
down.
a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about these bad incidents, the one that always bothers me is the Ahmaud Arbery case because that was hate, and that was hate from the cops that shot him. He was like getting some water from
No, they
the
weren't.
spigot at a house,
No, that
and
wasn't cops that shot him. It was a
they
dad
were
and his son.
ex-cops. I'm sorry, they were ex-cops.
Or one
Yeah,
was
I
they were
guarantee it. They were both
the one
ex-police.
guy was. Yeah, no, it was they were trying to make a citizen's arrest or something. And
totally
there was more to
stupid.
that case that came out after the fact too. Like this guy wasn't just going to get a drink of water. Like there was some shady shit going on in the property that he was, sort of canvassing. And it doesn't justify what happened. But that's another
Right,
thing.
right. I was gonna
But
say.
even what happened, supposedly that he went for the gun. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like these two guys were like, "Oh, let's go shoot ourselves." You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. Anyway,
Yeah, but what are you gonna do if a gun's being pointed at you?
I'm gonna put my hands up and be like, "All right, please don't shoot."
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know enough about that.
Yeah, but either way, those two guys got sent away forever. So they got what they got. If that's
Yeah, that's
justice,
true.
that's yeah, they got convicted.
And the
Well,
one was like not very conciliatory. The other one was, if I remember correctly. The younger guy, I think, was kind of
yeah, I think the
distraught.
younger guy was like, "Hey, let's roll it back a little bit."
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just wanted to talk about this because it's a word that probably gets used more than any other word in our media these days,
Mm.
and people kind of throw it around. And I'm not here to kind of come down with the final answer about it, but I wish people would kind of think about it a bit more and think about the meaning and think about how it's being used
And think about how negative it is,
and how
how
negative.
how how it doesn't serve the greater good, and how it's easy to. And this is the worst: is the combination of drummed up hate and group hate, which is dehumanization, like we talked about. Because when you combine that, when you can just that's what you get. We talked about the Nazis. That's what you get. You can talk about the communists in during like the wars, like Cambodia and Vietnam. You know, uh, Anytime you can blame a group,
Hmm.
look what the Chinese did with Mao.
Yeah, they took out entire generations
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot
of
of
their
bad.
own
Look
society.
what they're doing
Yeah,
with the. Are they called Uyghurs?
oh, the
Hmm.
Uyghurs. Yeah,
Yeah, look what they're doing with them.
yeah,
But
and
you don't
also
hate
what's going
Chinese
on,
people?
and what's going
Nigeria.
on. What's the country right now where the Christians are being
Ni
killed?
Isn't it Nigeria?
It is Nigeria. It is Nigeria. Yeah. And we know what went on in Rwanda. I mean, you start projecting hate on a group, horrible, horrible, horrible things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's worrisome in our political climate right now, I think. I think it could go
And the
really
really
south.
worrisome thing
It
about that is we are a world leader. If we allow hateful rhetoric to sprout from our uh, pulpits, whatever you want to call it, that could be really bad.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just saying that's what I'm a little concerned.
Well,
I
it's
really
funny you
am.
mentioned Rwanda, because Rwanda, it basically came down to kill anybody that's got this shaped nose. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that accurate? Like they were literally killing people because they looked a certain way. Not con-
I'm not up to speed on that.
I think a lot of it was very like street level. Um,
I just know it got really, really bad.
yeah, pretty
And
dark.
it was tribal. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And that's what's scary about Nigeria is it's really religious, which is like really old school hate. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
that's as tale as old as time.
yeah.
Yeah, but
But the odd thing is,
anyway,
we're very religious, yet we don't, do what they did. But it's getting close to it.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
getting
look,
real
guys,
tired
I don't
of.
know if anybody's got anything else. I hate to say this,
I
but
hate to say it.
Do you really hate it, or is it a matter of respect?
no, it's getting late, man. We've been on for a
Oh,
while. I
yes.
think it's time to wrap it up, Mike. Well, it's time to wrap it up.
We're
We'll
gonna
see
wrap it
everybody
up.
next time. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Peace out.